Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Jurassic World Primal Attack Savage Strike Sauropelta. Now, I've been trying to look for this thing for the longest time. I remember since this pandemic started, I wasn't really going out to any stores or anything like that. And then, once June came along, I started to, go out more. I, of course, wore a mask and just, tried to be as safe as possible, but every time I went to a Walmart or Target or literally any store, I was not able to find this thing. And this was one of, the few figures that, was revealed at Toy Fair 2020 that I actually kind of wanted. And there are still some that I do want, but they're not really out yet. And there are some that are out, but I just haven't been able to find them. So, yeah. Sure enough, as of me recording this, I went August 15th, I went to a mall near where I live, and I went to FYE. And I'm just trying to see, what they have for Godzilla stuff. And I see the Primal Attack Savage Strike Blue, and then I see Charlie. At first, I thought it was just, the regular, Dino Rivals Savage Strike figures, but then I remembered, the packaging. And I didn't believe it, they're not going to have it. They are not going to have it. And I dug around a little, and sure enough, they had it. And after so long of getting it, I finally got it. And to be fair, this figure, admittedly, is not the best I've seen, but it's still not bad at all. I still like this thing a lot for what it is, but it just feels good to have it. So, yeah. It wasn't stressful trying to get it, but just, I was not able to find this thing. But then I actually did, and it ended up working out. So, yeah. Anyway, let's just get into this. I rambled on for too long, so, yeah. First, we'll take a look at the painting. And the painting on this figure isn't bad. So most of the body, or at least the upper half of it, is this reddish color, which does look nice. And we even do get some bits of red on the side of the legs here, and even on the side of the body. The bottom half is painted a grayish color, which, again, looks nice. The beak here is painted a very dark shade of brown. It almost looks like black, but it is a very dark shade of brown in person. But the eyes here are painted yellow with black pupils. On the underside here, we do have the scan code and the new Jurassic World logo, but again, the toenails are not painted, which is kind of a shame, but honestly, it's whatever. The spikes here are painted, or these spikes are painted, but the spikes here are actually casted in a whitish, rubbery material, which does look nice. Again, I do think it's really cool that Mattel is, sort of implementing rubber in their smaller figures, so I think that's really cool, so, yeah. Anyway, that is pretty much it for the painting on this figure, and the painting on this figure isn't terrible. It's not the best, but honestly, it looks really nice. Mine doesn't really have any paint defects or anything like that, so yeah. The painting on this figure is very good for what it is. So the painting here, I'd say gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the articulation, and the articulation here is actually not bad at all. It's actually above average for a Savage Strike figure. So the base of the head here is on a ball joint. And the base of the neck here can rotate. It might be on a ball joint, but a very limited one, so it might as well be a swivel. The the forelimbs can move about that much forward and about that much backwards. You can do a 360, but you do have to move the legs out, like so. The back legs can kick that much and go back about that much. Yeah. And they can spread a little bit too. And if we wag the tail, we do have this little side-to-side motion. Let me just position this to where you can actually see what's happening. So you just shake the tail here and yeah. It feels a little loose. I feel like it could be a little tighter, but overall I'm not really disappointed with that. That is actually really cool. So I do like that a lot. So yeah. The articulation on this figure, again, it's not the best I've seen on a figure, but everything at the neck is actually it's a lot, or not a lot more, but it's a little more than your traditional Savage Strike figure. So yeah, the articulation on this figure is good. So the articulation gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure, again, is very nice. Looks very accurate to what we see in Jurassic World Evolution. A lot of these dinosaur figures that I reviewed, I don't really bring up that a lot of them we have seen in Jurassic World Evolution, and for the most part, this looks very similar. It's not one-to-one, but again, it looks very accurate to what we see there. So, yeah, the sculpting here is very nice. So the sculpting gets a pass. Now take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure, once again, is very nice. So let's take a closer look. So we can see all the little bumps and bits of scaling on the head here is detailed very nicely. And we get more of that nice detailing throughout. And even the spikes here are very nicely detailed. A lot of nice texture to them, and I do like that. And all the osteoderms and everything are detailed very nicely. Going to the legs here, we have some nice creases here, and a nice bit of musculature. There's a little bit of a seam here, but honestly that's perfectly fine. The scaling on the toes here, again, look very nice. I feel like the feet are a little too big, but I can live with that. But the detailing, again, looks nice. All the scaling here and whatnot, and the bits of armor. And if we go to the tail here, we can see all the bits of armor and everything. Just very nicely defined, and I do like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the detailing on this figure. The detailing on this figure is really good. So the detailing on this figure, I'd say gets a pass. So at the end of the day, should you get this? Get it if you can. I found mine at FYE, so if you're still looking for this figure, then definitely order this, or don't order this, but just go to an FYE and just look for it there, because there's a good chance it might be there. Online, like Amazon, it's like 40 bucks, at least the last time I checked, so it's really not worth it, like 40 bucks at least, but at retail this thing is like 10 bucks, and I think that is a good asking price for this. Again, it's not a perfect figure by any means, but it's still, like, again, I say this a lot whenever I review the smaller figures by Mattel, but like, I feel like the smaller figures feel like they're much higher quality than the bigger figures, and this figure is no exception. I really, like, it feels nice, and overall, I just really like this figure. So, yeah. Get it if you can. Again, FYE is the place to go. Don't order this on Amazon because, again, $40. At least the last time I checked. It's not really worth it. So, yeah. Anyway, if you want to know how big it is, and here it is next to Dr. Billy Grant. And in real life, the actual animal itself would actually be a little bit bigger, but honestly, this is serviceable. I'm not too disappointed with this size. So, yeah. So anyway, there's Dr. Billy Grant. And some hand sanitizer. Alright, now that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zack out.